Where do you want to start? 'Cause there's a lot of places we can start.
Uh,
We can start with either our
Want to start with last
teams.
night?
We can start. All right. I was gonna give you options. We can go last night, wise picks, our teams.
Oh, Wise Picks.
Yeah, I
You
think
guys
we
said
should do.
Wise
We'll do
Picks.
wise picks first, and then uh, then we'll start from after that. We'll get to our teams whenever we get to them. I like doing it
Right.
all
Yeah.
because then it starts a tangent halfway through the pod.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me get this out that we're live, and then we can start.
This the live stream is pretty up to date actually.
What do you mean?
It's like
Like-
only a second or two delay.
Huh? I think I can edit it to see when the
Oh, really?
delays are, but I don't know. I don't know. All right.
I got my first intramural basketball game tonight.
That's so exciting. Since I'm the intramural or chair, me and my boy
Mhm.
Stack, we what was I gonna say? We sorry, I'm just setting out the link, so I'm getting distracted. We're doing like the frat basketball league where it's just us against us.
Oh yeah.
And we're starting that tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna get gritty.
But that will get intense.
Yeah, it definitely will get gritty. All right, let me pull up Twitch and then we're good to go. I wonder how any of the Twitch stuff has been doing. I'm guessing pretty much the same. Yeah, pretty much the same. All right, let's get to it. You ready?
Ready?
All right, start in 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to the Wise Guys podcast. I'm your host, Brady Fitzgerald, joined as always by my co-host, Chris Hagan.
How you guys doing?
Doing all right. I mean, first week of football, it was a great week.
It was a great week.
Yeah, I think all the games are pretty good. At least most of them. We'll get to all of them, so don't worry. But good week of football. It was nice to sit on the couch with homework next to me, and about like 5 p.m. I looked at it and I was still on the first page
Mm-hmm.
and not a thing written down. I literally had on my notebook on the top review, and that's all I had on it. No review was had.
So I just love the feeling of having like it was Sunday and Monday night. I had the game on, just low volume, doing my work.
Mm-hmm.
It's like not quite background noise, but got like full attention on, and just having that on is like it makes your night so much better.
Yeah.
Also, Sunday was my last COVID day at home, so I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna stay for the 1 o'clock games, and then things just kept happening. Like my
Yeah,
game
you couldn't
wrapped
leave.
up, and then it was like a last minute field goal, and then overtime, and then another overtime, and then like we'll get to those games, but it was chaos.
The witching hour on Red Zone, which normally is like they say the witching hour, and most weeks like there's good things that happen during it, but this
It's like a game or two usually.
this is the witching hour was out this week. All of a sudden, it was going from there to there to there, all across the country, just showing all these overtime games, game-winning field goals, game-missing field goals, all sorts of drama. But the most important thing about Sunday was that the Wise Picks started out strong.
We made money.
Oh, we made money, baby.
And we told you guys, like, if you weren't betting with us, it's your own fault, because we told you at the beginning of the season, we said, look what we picked last year. We picked the Rams. Both of us, they won. That was for our futures. If you listen to the podcast, you know that we hit our picks.
We know what we're talking about here. We know what we're
So
talking about.
I think the Wise parlay hit 2 or 3 times last year, like meaning 6-0.
And now
Did
first
not
week
waste any
back.
time.
No,
Didn't waste any
no,
time.
Didn't waste any time getting back. So let's review what we had, and we'll start off with the Vikings versus the Packers. Chris was on this since day one. The Packers looked lost.
So I remember when I said like the Packers have had a couple week one games like this
Mm-hmm.
where they show up and they just look terrible. And
This is it.
again, like I want to overreact to a lot of stuff. I'm not going to overreact to this one.
Neither am I.
It's a worse Packers offense, but give them a little bit of time. I think the Vikings might be good this year.
I think they are. I think they're like so basically all off season they're like Justin Jefferson is gonna fit right into this Cooper Cup role. And then a little bit before the season, I heard a little bit of pushback on some of the pods I listened to, like, hey, like, how do we know he's just gonna slide into this Cooper Cup role? You know what he did? He slid right into that Cooper Cup role.
Well, even if he doesn't slide in the Cooper Cup role, he was still like the second best receiver last year, production wise, maybe third.
And
he's gonna be even if he doesn't elevate
year.
himself, he's still one of the best receivers in the game.
Yep.
And he torched the Packers.
Yeah, he took the team on his back. He had 9 catches. No one else even had 4. 2 touchdowns, almost 200 yards. He really did everything for this team. And what was nice is that, I mean, not nice, but which is cool, is that there would be plays where it's like, why is he open? It's like, why is he left wide open? Like, no shit, he's gonna run for a touchdown right after.
Yeah.
Why is he wide open? So, I think the Vikings they're gonna be scary. And
they're at worst, they're gonna be a team that you don't want to see.
Oh no, they're gonna mess up
like
some
week to week
hopes.
and in the playoffs possibly.
Yeah. So
they're gonna be a team that you just worry about.
And I really did not have any faith in this defense, and as we just said, bad Packers offense. They did this last year. They should be back one. And I think honestly, it's gonna sound a little funny, but a big piece was missing in Allen Lazard. It's the only guy Rodgers trusts. So the fact that he wasn't out there is a big. That was huge for them, where he now doesn't trust any of these guys that he's starting.
And Bakhtiari's out.
Yeah,
so his best
When is he
offensive
back?
lineman. This report said he could miss the Bears game,
That's next week.
which means he'll probably be back soon. It might be. Yeah, I think it's this. Is it the Sunday night game?
Yeah, I think so.
It's brutal.
Yeah, it really
is. But the Zadarius Smith stuff too. I kind of forgot that he was even on the Vikings.
Yeah, I honestly had no
idea. That was
idea.
a revenge game for him.
Yeah, I honestly
guess so.
had no clue. Jordan, I was looking at their defense right now. Jordan Hicks is on that team. Didn't realize.
There's a lot of old heads on this defense.
No, I mean, and it's funny
Pat
because
Pete's still there. Harrison Smith's getting up there.
You always just think about the 3 people, the Neil Hunter, Harrison Smith, and Eric Kendricks, because they've been there for like 10 years.
Yeah.
So that's really who I thought was just like the big.
The fact that Anthony Barr isn't still there is shocking.
Yeah, that is.
And Linval Joseph, I feel like those guys were just gonna be on the. Linval Joseph is a free agent actually.
Is he really? Right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, why they don't have him is because of DJ Wonnum, South Carolina alum.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we got a sack.
I think everyone got a sack.
Yeah, no. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks.
I guess that's not that many, but
it's pretty good though. Against Rodgers too, because that's pretty good. So, anyways, I think, and the fact that they didn't get to use their rushing attack because they were down by so much, I think that helped the Packers. I mean, helped the Vikings too, because I think the Packers this year, if it's not going to be Rodgers slinging the ball all the time, it's just going to be these 2 running backs that are both amazing.
Well, and I think that their best receivers are Dillon and Jones.
Yes, they are.
Or at least the guys that he trusts the most.
Yeah.
Like Aaron Jones is probably one of guys he trusts the most throwing to.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dillon, yeah.
Which
you look at these names of guys that are catching passes, and it's tough.
Oh, Romeo
Randall
Dobbs.
Cobb he likes, but like, Jesus, talk about an old head.
Yeah, Sammy Watkins, Christian Watson. I don't know who that guy is, but he had a major drop pass like right at the beginning, and ever since then, I was like, oh.
Yeah, Rodgers isn't throwing to him again.
Yeah, I was like, he's not getting another catch. Yeah, I mean, but they have some guys that they didn't get to play, so they'll be fine. I think the Packers. All right, next up, Ravens -6.5. What a classic!
I mean,
Ravens week 1.
Expect?
No, classic Ravens week 1. Joe threw it 59 times. I don't know how you even go into a game plan thinking my quarterback's going to throw it 60 times and my
Has
quarterback is
he
Joe Flacco.
has he been number 19 since he's been on the Jets? I
So
don't
he's been on the
remember
Jets
that.
twice.
Right, because he played
And
that
the
game against the
second time,
Pats. He almost won.
yeah, and the second time, Matt White had number 5.
Oh, okay.
So he got
I see.
19. And I guess, I don't know where White is now, but I guess he just stuck with 19. Michael,
Not a good
so
look.
Brees
I don't
Hall,
know if I've ever seen a quarterback wear 19.
yeah, no, it's never a good look. Johnny
Just the
Unitas.
eye test.
Johnny Unitas.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think he's like the only good one.
The eye
Uh,
test he didn't pass.
no, he
I'll say
definitely did
that.
not pass. So I mean, I guess the Jets did fine for what they had. I want to see them with the MILF Hunter.
Yeah.
I got to see him with him. So and again with the Ravens, I mean, not much to say against this game. Like, what are you gonna like? What do you want us to give you
Yeah. I mean,
props?
they took care of business.
Yeah, and like, what do you
They
want us
didn't
to give
look
you
great,
props?
but
Yeah,
you know,
scored
good
24
teams
against the
come
Jets.
in and right. Yeah.
All right, but they covered. That's all that matters. Next up, oh, juicy one. The Colts Texans.
This actually turned into a sweat late in
Yeah,
the game.
yeah,
They were up 20-3, and then all of a sudden it was 2010, and it was 2017,
2017.
and then it was going to overtime. And like obviously when it goes to overtime, it's an automatic cover because they're not going to kick the extra point. But if the Colts were to score a touchdown at the end of that game, it could have pushed.
Could have pushed.
But my takeaway from this is like my opinion hasn't changed on either of these teams, to be honest. I think it was a divisional game that was weird. I don't think the Colts are that good. I think they deserve to lose for the way they treated Carson Wentz. I think the Texans are not atrocious. They're going to beat some teams, like some decent teams maybe. They're going to be a little frisky, but I don't know. I mean, the Colts play games like this a lot where they just look terrible.
No, and this is like a weird thing with the Colts where it's like week 1 and week 17 they can never take care of business.
Yeah.
And those are not the weeks you want to be not taking care of business. So,
And they like fell back into a tie.
yeah.
Like they were lucky to be in that game at all.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, because the freaking Texans were I mean 20-0. The fact that they couldn't score a single point in the fourth quarter was pretty upsetting. Can't score a
It's
single
tough
point.
that they couldn't close that game out.
No, they really should have. I'm glad there's a tie out there. I really wanted it to be the
Yep.
Steelers. They deserve one every year.
It's such a tie team.
Yeah,
The
no,
Steelers.
I'm surprised they're not gonna tie everybody. But
Yeah.
this Colts team, I don't know. I don't see any hype there or why.
When you look at the numbers in this game for the Colts,
It's
it's
insane.
embarrassing that they didn't win.
It's
Like
insane.
350 yards through the air. Jonathan Taylor ran 30 times for 160 yards. And they
Michael
tied the
Pittman-
Texans.
Yeah, and Michael Pittman had 121 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, pretty tough luck. The
But,
Juice caught
also-
3 touchdowns.
Who?
Juice. OJ. Did you know he's on the
yeah,
Texans?
I did. So I actually did, and when he caught it, I was like, I forgot he was on the Texans at first, and then he got 2, and I was
Mhm.
like, sneaky good pickup. I don't know why the Bills just let him go. They had him in the whole
I don't know.
training camp. But so Matt Ryan is officially mid Ryan on this podcast. There should never be anyone. There wasn't really anyone hyping him up anyways. He was just, I guess, quote unquote, better than Carson Wentz. But I mean, now just look
It's
at the paper.
close.
Yeah, now look at the paper. Matt Ryan, I mean, he's just gonna be on these miserable teams. He's the quarterback. It's his fault. Blaming him.
Yeah. Yep, that's fair.
All right.
I don't like the way he looks in the Colts uniform either.
No, and he took Wentz's number, so it's almost like Wentz is right there, still there.
It's
And
just
you're
mean.
Like,
Yeah.
it is mean.
They're gonna be the same team this year.
They all right. They got from a average quarterback in Wentz to an even more average quarterback in Matt Ryan.
They had Phil Rivers the year before.
and then Phil Rivers the year before, Jacoby Brissett the year before that.
Yeah, it's like they're the most stagnant team in the NFL.
When
it
is it-
continuously changes but remains the same?
When is Frank Reich gonna get any of this heat? Is he just gonna be praised as this?
I mean,
great coach
they
every
win
time?
games, but they haven't won anything real.
No,
And I think everyone
like,
still thinks that he's a great coach.
he's just like
for some reason.
Because he was the quarterbacks coach of the Eagles Super Bowl team. Or offensive coordinator, I don't know.
And he had like they do win games. Like
And I think
he
he's a
looks
decent coach,
like
but
he
like
knows what he's doing, I
he's got
guess.
to get some flack in there eventually,
And
right?
I stand by it that he should have been fired after the Jacksonville game.
Oh yeah.
I blame him more than Wentz for that. But that's already been discussed.
That's because the Commanders minus two
Oh,
and
I
a
forgot
half
you
versus
picked
the
it.
Jaguars was an easy lock. Take the reins.
It was anything but
Oh,
easy.
Yeah, no, I'm well
So
aware.
we were just talking about Wentz. That
You had the whole Wentz
every
roller
little
coaster.
bit of Carson Wentz in it.
Yep.
Like at the start of the game,
Hey,
he was making the first throw he missed badly, and then like the first couple drives after that first throw, he was hitting everything. He looked great. He looked like MVP Carson Wentz, and I was sitting there thinking like, man, they got the weapons too. Like they could actually be good offense. And then the second half game, they couldn't do anything. It was like 3 and out.
oh, you cut out for a second. Hopefully my internet's not. Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You paused for a second. The stream probably cut out.
Where'd you lose me?
Right when the fourth quarter.
It was like all of a sudden they couldn't move the ball at all.
Mhm.
And he was missing every throw. And the 2 picks were especially bad. The first pick, he just stared Dotson down the whole time.
Hey, Trayvon Walker.
Yeah, well, whatever. I think I'm trying to remember if the first one led to a touchdown. It was 14-9, and then it was 22-14. So yeah, the first one led to a touchdown, and then the second one, which was the first play of the next drive after Jacksonville scored, he throws an interception on a screen pass, which was the Trayvon Walker play. And I was like,
that's just like a Madden pick.
Got to be kidding me.
That's like something.
And then they score on their first play that they run. And apparently, he goes to the sideline, and Ron Rivera tells him, "You need to go out there and win this game for us now." And Carson Wentz said, "I will," and walked away.
As he should.
And he did.
That's leadership. Hey, all I gotta say is the Commanders. I mean, they get a lot of flack from all sorts of things, and most of the time it's pretty deserving. But the locker room video I sent you on Instagram of all of them congratulating Wentz, giving him the game ball, talking as a team. Like people were questioning Ron and the leadership there. That's real leadership. They really, it seems like this team actually, they seem like they actually care about each other, which is something.
Well, yeah, and like
you haven't
not to
seen.
get like soft or anything, but you have to look at the human aspect of it for Wentz. Like he went from being the number 2 overall pick and was an MVP candidate and was like hailed as the hero in Philadelphia, gets hurt, his backup wins a Super Bowl, he gets cast away by the team, and this whole city hates him. All of a sudden, they trade him away, he gets a fresh start, and then that team does the same thing with him and says, "We don't want you. You're the reason we didn't make the playoffs," and trades him again. So, like, that's a lot to overcome. As I know he's a professional athlete, but like, that's a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
So now, like, he's saying, hats off to him for not absolutely collapsing when he threw those 2 picks. Like, he came back and led them on 2 really good drives and made some really nice throws. And like every decision he made from that point on was the right one. So he's got that quality in him where he's not gonna care. Somebody on the radio said that he's just too dumb. Like he'll throw a pick and be like, "Yeah, like what happened?" And just come out for the next drive, which I guess like that works if that's the way you're gonna look at it. But it seems like they have his back. I don't think everyone hates him yet, because apparently he's hated in the locker rooms he's been in. But
no, that's what I'm. It seems like he's It seems like he really is liked in that locker room. It seems like he is he's a good leader for this team with great weapons. Honestly, like really good weapons.
Like I think the first 7 or 8 passes he threw, like Samuel touched the ball 6 times.
No, yeah, they were force
feed him.
Yeah.
And then he fumbled later, which was tough.
So I want to talk about Derek Forrest.
Yeah.
Where's he from? Is he a rookie?
No, he's a second year, I think. You see the
Okay.
hit that he had?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw it all. Dude, that dude's a beast. Like an
Yeah.
absolute and he's skinny as a twig. And the fact that he can just like nail those people is insane. I really like I mean, I this is leading to me. I told you, I'm hopping on the train. We'll talk
It's
about the
a
Pats later, but
it's not a train, it's a roller coaster.
I'm
That
in for
game
the
had
ride.
I mean, and that was another reason where I just felt like, man, like we are back. It's football season because that game had every emotion in it.
Mhm.
And you have to like during the game you're not thinking like this is the Jaguars. We're playing the Jaguars. Like
Yeah.
they're terrible. But at the end of it now you have like reflection time. You're like, that might have not been great. It was that close of a game against them. But I don't know. I mean, I bet on Doug Peterson to win coach of the year, so some
So,
expectations.
I want to talk about the Jags real quick. Is I mean, I know it's been one game and I know he's a second year player, but Trevor, he didn't wow me whatsoever.
He Yeah, I mean, he had drives where he looked unstoppable, and then he had drives where he was missing easy throws.
It didn't
There was
help that
there's
his
one
boy
touchdown throw that ETN dropped.
yeah, and then the other one he missed. He sailed in the end zone.
Right. And there were a couple like that. Now, I don't think there's another touchdown one that he missed, but there were multiple like on second and third down throws that were really did not look that difficult.
Mhm.
Like an average NFL quarterback should hit 95% of the time. And he was sailing guys a lot. And then the interception he threw made no sense why he even threw the ball.
Wow, just explain.
It was like it was third down, I think, on their last drive. They had a little bit of time left. It was over a minute left in the game, and he rolled all the way out and just kind of like chucked it up. Like the Forrest pick at the end,
Mhm.
like literally was just waiting for it, sitting in his hands at the sideline. Like it was a ball that should have just been thrown
Oh,
away.
yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, yeah.
So I don't know why he threw that ball. He's still a work in progress, clearly,
Yeah, he definitely
but
is.
he
I
like the
want to
talent
see
is there.
yeah, and I want to see how many years he goes where he's going to be living off his Clemson run. Cuz
Mm.
like eventually they're going to have to start winning and start doing something, and I just want to see how long it takes for people to go, maybe he's a bust." But
I
hey,
say like 3 years probably.
he might, I mean, and
But
he
he's
might let
also
it,
in
but
Jacksonville, and there's
yes,
so
yeah.
little pressure.
Yeah, no, there
Like if
is.
it was New York, he'd already be a bust.
I agree. I agree.
Which changes everything.
All right. Let's move on before we get another tangent. Next up, might have been the
Steelers.
game of the day.
This was Steelers Bengals is what we're talking about. One of the most ridiculous games that I've ever seen.
This was insane.
Uh, but like the Bengals played this game last year against the Packers
Yeah.
with the missed field
Yes.
goals. It
Yes.
was they played the same game.
Yeah, they did.
And obviously the Steelers are just built to tie like every game that they play. I told you this is why I made the pick because the AFC North games are weird. That was the reasoning because these games get weird.
They do.
I didn't think the Steelers were going to win and really like they did not deserve to win that game.
No.
I don't know how they let the Bengals back in it at the end and gave up. It was like multiple times they had them buried. And then you'd like switch back and it was like, oh, the Bengals have the ball again with another chance to go down at the end of the game and score.
Yeah. So the Bengals, they had like 3 attempts to end the game.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't do it on any of them. They could finally they got the touchdown, then they blocked the extra point. And then in overtime, I don't even know what happened in overtime. And should we get worried about this offense? Like I know Jamar Chase looks great. I know Joe Mixon looked good. What was up?
The line is that's concerning.
It didn't look any
They
better.
went out. No, it looked horrible. It was, what, 7 sacks?
Yeah.
And that obviously that's a good D line, but 7 sacks is not like remotely close to acceptable play. And Burrow is quick. Like he's generally pretty good at like avoiding pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
for him to get beat up on like that again after the whole season, it was like this team just needs more help at line.
That's all it needs.
They went out and they got it.
Yeah.
And it still looked awful. That's a little bit concerning.
Who do they have up next? They have the they have the Cowboys, so they'll
Yeah.
beat the Cowboys and the Jets and the Dolphins.
Okay.
But
4 picks from Burrow was also not good.
no, not and it was all very early. 6 turnovers from him very early. What, 2 fumbles, right?
That's tough.
Yeah, it's really tough.
That's a tough scene.
No,
It is a good defense. Steelers still have a good defense.
and it's also week 1.
But
I gotta remind
right.
myself sometimes. It's like you can't just say that they're garbage now. We gotta relax.
Mitch looked good.
Would you
like
go that far? Say that Mitch looked
Did
good.
they win the game?
Yeah, okay. All right, that's fine.
I mean, he didn't royally screw up.
No,
I don't know why Najee Harris only got 10 carries.
he got hurt.
Oh, did he?
I gotta look this up because he's on my fantasy team. I gotta see what his injury is. Najee Harris. All it's saying is about his backup. What is it? Sorry, I'm doing some deep research right now. All right,
Okay.
foot injury came back negative. There's a belief that he's good to go. All right, so I think he had a foot injury mid-game though, and that's why he only had 10 carries.
So back to Mitch. Did he look good? No.
Hey, did he keep his name in the hat for starting quarterback? Yes.
Did he keep them in the game? Yes. And that last drive, that was Mitch.
Yeah.
He played really
let's talk
well.
about that, where the Bengals
in the
just
2
let
minute drill.
them win.
The time was weird.
So they
Like,
didn't.
I don't know why they didn't just run it all the way down.
Because apparently they wanted to make sure that the punter had time to set up or whatever and kick it right. But it's why even punt?
I don't know.
Accept the tie at that point. Weird. There was definitely some.
Yeah,
some
that's
questionable
I've
coaching
never
decisions.
heard that. I've never heard that explanation for not running the clock down. Like, I think they just, like, the snapper forgot.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think that's what happened.
That's probably what happened, and that makes sense.
Which is that's tough.
Hey, unfortunate for the Bengals. Whatever. Good for us. They covered anyways. We got it. All right. The last one, the Sunday night game, Tampa Bay versus them boys. The snooze
Favorite
fest.
game of the week.
This was such a snooze fest.
It was a horrible game, but I relish in watching the Cowboys play that poorly.
Dude, they look terrible.
And it's
even
not like you
before
can even
Dak
say.
went out.
That's what I was gonna say. It's not like Dak got hurt on the first drive and was like, "Oh, I had to play with the backup quarterback the whole game." They looked atrocious with him.
Yeah, they looked really bad with him. Zeke, I mean, they couldn't even give him carries towards the end. They only threw to CeeDee Lamb. I mean, he only got 2 catches. It seemed like Dalton Schultz was the only one that could move the football, and his line blows.
Yeah. And I mean, the Bucks were not even that impressive either.
No, the Bucks looked pretty rough too.
It was just like a game, like almost like the Ravens game, where it's just they're playing against a team who did not show up or just stinks.
Yeah.
They have a buffoon at head coach.
Oh, an absolute buffoon. Absolutely.
Which, again, like my favorite thing is just them getting blown out of the water, and they pan to Mike McCarthy, and he's just like,
he looks like such a doofus every time. He looks like he has ass sweat every time. Every single time. It looks like he's just sitting in a puddle of ass sweat.
He
I don't know.
definitely is.
How is Jerry Jones putting up with this?
I don't know. I mean,
like, we know he has Sean Payton signed up for next year, so he's gonna.
I'm curious as to that going down. Is that going to help McCarthy because now he has an excuse, or are they going to look so bad that he's Jerry Jones? It's like, no, like we're gonna fire.
I cannot believe that it will anything will ever benefit Mike McCarthy as long as he's coaching football. I just don't think it's possible. Like, I don't know. He's such a doofus. Like, literally such a doofus.
I love him so much. He's my favorite.
He needs to be the Cowboys coach for 10 years.
And he's such a perfect Cowboys coach.
Oh yeah, he's not as like I miss the clapping of the clapper.
Yeah. He was on the broadcast.
Yeah, he picked
was it the
Cowboys.
pregame show that he was on?
Yeah, he picked the Cowboys. He was on the broadcast. I saw that and I was like, what is he doing up there?
He
Leonard
was the
Fournette.
perfect Jerry Jones guy. 'Cause he was just a puppet.
Oh yeah, definitely. The only positive in this whole game was Leonard Fournette. He's the only
Yep.
one that looks like he wanted to play. What
Sunday
is
Night
so
Lenny.
Brady?
See that tweet?
What do you say?
Sunday Night Lenny.
Oh no, I didn't see that. I do you see him? Micah Parsons was like calling him out for that bullshit
Yeah,
he
right.
had on him, and he was like,
It's just the
just sent
Grind
the
Jordan thing.
uh.
I mean, like, why are you going on Twitter after you just get smoked?
Oh yeah, no, that's Micah Parsons is looks like a buffoon for that.
Yeah.
Brady. Let's talk about. I don't know. There's so many weird things with this dude. He's just getting
So-
weirder and weirder.
I think he was just conserving energy tonight.
He
That's
might
my
have been.
take.
Yeah, he might have been. There's like every time he takes off the helmet, he looks like a different person. That doesn't look like Tom Brady. That looks like a wax model of him. And he's walking around with a full head of hair, no grays in it. He's 45 years old. It's like, come
Yeah.
on, man. Who you?
Well, and
fooling?
there's the whole wife stuff going on.
Yeah, he's not living with Giselle
Like,
anymore.
Are
He's-
they divorced?
Yeah.
Are they gonna be separated? Like, nobody knows.
and it's
It's
like
just I don't know what to make of it.
he's gotten into the point where it's like any Brady story, I'm just gonna believe it.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna believe. Like they say he retires tomorrow, I'll be like, damn. Guess the legend's gone. Like
he literally has become like this legend of a person.
and it's so weird. Yeah, it's so weird. Like I saw him like coming in, I think, and he's like giving everybody high fives and stuff, and it's like he is like such a different level than everybody else.
Yeah.
Where he's
no,
just
he's
like-
not.
He's
He's not an NFL player anymore.
no, he's an
Like
NFL like
transcends.
he's like
that
an NFL actor.
profession. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
he literally is.
It's so weird. Yeah, sure. Cowboys stink. Who do you think they're gonna trade for a quarterback?
I saw Cam Newton buzz, and that's what I want to happen.
That would be a perfect Cowboy season. Cam Newton
Yep.
at the helm. That would be so funny. I saw some. They were. I mean, this is just speculation. Oh, they could trade for Jimmy G.
I wouldn't like that.
Oh, I was about to say you would not.
I would not like that at all.
I still don't think
Jimmy
they'd be
G,
very good. But
terrifying.
I don't
They'd
know.
be good
Jimmy's,
enough.
Jimmy's just a winner. That's all
He is
that
a winner.
matters.
They'd
Yeah.
probably win 12 games.
Make it a Super Bowl. All right. Let's get into some other games now that the wise picks are done. Well, I guess we haven't done the Pats. Look, they're not gonna be good this year. They're not gonna be good. The coaching I think was horrific in this game, like really really bad. The fact that Kendrick Bourne had one catch and is our second leading receiver is pretty bad. He also only had 2 snaps all game. Pretty bad.
Bourne did?
Yeah, considering we paid him like a lot of money. And he also has a great connection with Mac Jones. So like why wasn't he playing? I don't know. Jacoby Myers was like the only bright spot. Our only touchdown was Ty Montgomery. I was like, what year is this? A lot of holding on Devontae Parker already. I already know that that's not going to ever get called, and I'm going to lose my mind every time it happens. That pick, like the tip pick, I don't know if you saw anything on Twitter or anything, but
I didn't see this game pop up like once.
No, it was on Red Zone twice. It was the strip sack and the one Pats touchdown. They didn't even show like the Dolphins field goals. So, what was I gonna say? Yeah, the tip pick, the Mac Jones pick, he was getting held the whole time, like literally the whole time. He threw another ball that, I mean, I think he looked fine. I don't think it was on Mac. I don't think Mac's like not the guy. I just think this team's just not very good. Miles Bryant's still playing. I don't know why he's still playing. I mean, the defense just looks old and slow like it did past 5 years. So, I don't know. I'm not very excited to watch this Patriots team. It's going to be a long, cold season up in Foxborough. But, hey, it's still Bill Belichick. Like, there's still some glimmer of hope in the bottom of it. There's still part of me that, like, just wants to come on here and be like, nah, it's fine. Week 1 woes, the Tua has our number, I guess. But, like, the fact that we're losing to Tua is really what makes me upset. And he's now 4-0 against Belichick.
Yeah, 4-0. 2-0.
It's pretty sad.
I love him next week against the Steelers.
Yeah, I think
Just
that
gonna throw that out there.
yeah, I think they'll
I
be good
love it.
against. I kind of like him against the Steelers too, because I think they have the one thing that they did improve on was their pass rush is better. They didn't even get any more players; they just were better at it. Um,
Mhm.
and the Steelers can't really run the ball, so their run defense shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah. I'm curious what your thoughts on the Dolphins are because I think that there's a chance that Dolphins are going to do this to teams this year, where as
I
long
think
as
their
Tua
defense is really
takes
good.
care of the ball and like he has these weapons that he can get the ball, like Edmonds, Hill, Waddle,
They're all
Mostert,
fast.
Gesicki. Yeah, I mean, as long as he can basically manage the game, they're probably going to win a lot of these low-scoring games.
I agree because I think their defense is really good. Like there's a
Yeah.
lot of the fact that Melvin Ingram got that strip sack touchdown. I didn't even know he was on the team. I forgot about that. Um, I mean, Christian Wilkins is good. Ogba's good. Jerome Baker, Javon Holland, like they're this defense is really really good.
Mhm.
So that you're right. It's gonna be a lot of low scoring games like this where Tua doesn't turn over the ball, and that's how they're gonna have to win these games.
Yeah.
And I think the coach had the right game plan. It was just throw a ball, get Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle open.
Mhm.
Tua can hit them when they're open. So
Yeah, I mean they're perfectly bit like for a team that decided that they're going to stick with him and let him prove himself, and they set him up perfectly.
yeah,
So it really is a year where it's make or break for him because there are no excuses
yeah, I
unless
agree.
his guys go down. But also on the other hand, it's a year where you might finish the year and still have no idea.
hmm
Where it's like Kirk Cousins and it's like, well, he
Well,
you
he
know
won us 10
puts up
games,
pretty
but
good numbers.
yeah,
We're winning games, but like we don't know if he's good or not.
yeah,
I
it'll
think
be.
that's where we're gonna finish the season with Miami.
I think so too.
I think
Um,
they're a borderline playoff team.
yeah, and that's what they're expected to be this year. Just a borderline playoff team, and you're right. We're at this. We're gonna see what Tua looks like and what the like at the end of this year. There's not gonna be a this whole offseason. It was like basically, are you a Tua fan? Or are you not? Next year,
Yeah,
it's gonna be kind of a definitive. Tua's good or he's not.
yeah.
All right.
I also say I said I hated Matt Ryan in the Colts uniform. I love Tyreek Hill in the Dolphins uniform.
I don't. I don't whatsoever. But anyways, all right. While we're talking about Tyreek Hill, let's talk about his former team, the Chiefs. And everyone forgot Mahomes is Mahomes. I just want to point that out there.
hmm
The fact that line was what was it? It was like 2.5 or
No, it was like
three and a half.
6.
Was it 6?
Yeah.
Um, the Twitch comments are saying Lamar to Dallas next year. Oh. I think. All right. My prediction is if Tua sucks at the end of this year, Lamar's going to the Dolphins, and then I'm going to lose my mind.
Could see that.
No, I think that's actually. I think it's going to happen because
Yeah.
he's from Florida. I'm sure Miami would pay him the world. So
Yeah.
whatever. All right. What are we talking about? Mahomes, the Chiefs. Look, this offense is. He should have gotten 6 touchdowns. Mahomes. I don't know why like I would have gone for it.
It was like a hot knife through butter
Oh
the
yeah.
whole game.
Mm-hmm.
And
The
we talked about this Cardinals defense being like a mix of old, slow, and just bad.
it
And they
looked.
got exposed for who they were today.
It looked.
It's a brutal game when you get Mahomes week 1 and there's already like questions about the defense and like Kyler Murray stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it could just be you faced a team that's a lot better than you, but it looked like you don't even deserve to be on the field with them. They look like a college team.
They really did, and they have like no running attack, and they couldn't throw
Yeah.
the ball. I mean, I guess they couldn't run the ball anyways, but they like Greg Dortch is their leading receiver of this game. Marquise Brown had a touchdown. Zach Ertz got a touchdown, but none of these numbers are impressive. So wide receivers catches goes 4, 2, and 1.
That's not great.
No, not at all. And that's like that. You can't build a team around that where you're not passing it to your wide receivers. You don't have anyone you could trust, and like, and it doesn't help the fact that Murray just like absolutely looks like a munchkin. Like every time he's on the field, it's like everyone is a foot taller than you, dude. And no
Yeah.
shit, you're throwing the ball and it's hitting your offensive lineman. He's a foot taller than you. Like no shit. I don't know. We've been out on the Cardinals. There's definitely out
Yep.
after this.
I mean, there is the Hopkins aspect of it where like he's their best offensive player by a while and he's out. Even with him, like I don't have faith in them at all. I think Cliff could get fired this year. I think they're gonna be that bad.
I would like to see it. And I it almost makes me want to watch the Hard Knocks midseason
Mhm.
just because I know they're
Let's
gonna
just
be
see the
great.
misery.
Yeah. All right. What other games we got? Oh, my favorite game this week. Bears Niners. The Swamp Fest.
This is another one where like people are calling for Trey Lance's head, and it's like, all right, how
The dude played in
seriously are
mud.
we gonna take this game?
Yeah.
Like I'm all for seeing Jimmy G again. We've talked about it. We talked about it on Sunday actually. How the Bears are actively pushing Trey Lance out the door with that game, but like at the same time, did you see them sliding in the water
Yeah,
at the end of the game?
I don't know. I don't know if people did. And it's like they're I mean, I love this Bears team for some reason already. So I'm excited
Drafted
for it.
Fields in fantasy.
Hey, he didn't even do anything, nor did I start him, so relax. Um no, I mean it's fun. I think it's fun to see the Bears win. They've
Yeah,
had
it is.
so many years of just trouble that it's fun to see them win, and against a decent team too. Like this Niners team is good. The defense is good. Of course, Elijah Mitchell already got hurt. So
Yep,
if you
that's
drafted him
great for
second
me.
round, have fun. When did you draft him?
Not second round. I think it was fifth or sixth. Sixth, I think.
Brutal.
Tough.
And I don't know. I mean, like the Bears, they couldn't really move this whole game. No one could really move the ball.
No, it was just a
It was
poop
just
fest.
yeah, it was a poop fest, but it was fun. It was a fun poop fest.
Yeah. I mean, this is also like this is probably the Bears Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
Like they're probably gonna get lit up by the Packers next week, and
Yeah.
all
No.
the joy from this week is gonna quickly evaporate. But it's nice that they got this one, I guess.
Hey, and everyone's
Sorry.
telling them they're only gonna
Such
win.
a Debbie Downer.
Everyone's telling them they're gonna win like only 2 games. Hey, one down.
That's right. Yeah,
One down.
you're halfway to your win total this
Yeah,
year.
break expectations. Let's talk about a division rival of yours, the Eagles. Look, you can't be a Super Bowl team if you're letting Jared Goff score 35 points. That's all I gotta say.
I thought this defense was supposed to be really strong.
Thought that was I thought this
And
defense
like
was
they got shredded by the Lions. And in all fairness, they were in complete control of this game until like the very end.
Mhm.
So like it didn't feel like it was a 3-point game. But the Eagles, like if the Lions got one stop at the end of that game, they would have had the ball with 2 minutes left with a chance to go win it.
Yeah.
Like there was a 4th and 1 that the Eagles got that if they turned it over, I don't remember how much time, if it was under 2 minutes or just above, but it was a 4th and 1 like just across midfield.
Yeah, I remember.
And like that they would have been in serious trouble if they didn't get it.
Oh,
Probably would have
definitely.
lost that game.
Yeah, they definitely would have been in serious trouble. I like. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. I like the Lions having some fun too. DeAndre Swift, hey, he proved me wrong. He did very well. So did Jamal Williams. He had 2 tutties. So it's funny when you look at that and you're like, you look at these box score and then you look at like fantasy and you're like, why do we draft the players we draft? Because DeAndre Swift gets all the yards and then Jamal Williams just takes all their touchdowns.
Right. That's frustrating.
No, very frustrating. Amon-Ra, great to see a touchdown. And
Shark looked good too. Shark made a really
Yep.
nice play on the ball to score his touchdown.
Mm-hmm. I want to see what was. Jesus, do you hear that? That banging?
Yeah.
Someone's upstairs just hammering away.
Oh, okay. I
I don't
thought that was coming from like my house.
No, I don't know what's going on. They've been doing that since we started the pod. Hutchinson, he didn't do much at all. I was just looking at his
no.
stats. I mean, I guess we didn't see like I'm sure on Red Zone they would have showed like, oh, this is first sack or He didn't
No,
even
he didn't have a sack.
all right, let's talk. Let's give the Eagles, I guess, some praise. Their rushing attack is really, really strong.
They
Uh,
look like very similar to last year's team, except they have AJ Brown.
yeah, and they replaced AJ Brown. Well, they did replace Devontae Smith with AJ Brown because he just was non-existent in this whole game.
Yeah.
He didn't get a
So
catch.
he played and didn't get a catch.
Nope.
Yeah, he's a first round pick. What
Yeah.
are we doing?
Yeah, he was the Heisman winner. Come on now, you got to feed him the ball. I mean, if you're gonna draft him that high, if you're gonna pair him up with AJ Brown and call it a pairing, you can't just give 10 targets to AJ Brown. I guess that could be what their next evolution is with Hurts. Is like trying to get him to not just force feed AJ Brown, which is hard when he gets 155 yards off 10 catches. Like I would just keep force
Right,
feeding him
yeah.
too.
I mean, there was no reason not to throw him the ball every time. The thing with this Eagles team is it's easy to win games when Jalen Hurts is gonna run it 17 times for 90 yards.
Yeah, it's when he can't run it 17 times.
Like, obviously, he's gonna make plays with his feet, but is he gonna be able to last the season running that much? That's my question.
And he
not even getting hurt necessarily, but like teams just adjusting to that.
and,
Obviously, that's tough to do, but I don't know. We've seen Lamar get completely shut down in the playoffs.
And it's not just him getting hurt or teams figuring out, but it's like just the drain. Like I could like imagine you had to throw how many times you throw?
32.
32 times, and then you have to also run. So that's 49 attempts with the ball. And
less than Flacco.
That is 10 less. But you're right. It's gotta put some strain, whether it's him getting hurt, or him getting a tweak there, tweak there. I don't know. He's got a bigger frame. I don't think the Eagles are going to be too worried about it. But they could also, you're right. They could end up running him into the ground. So
yeah, it'll just be something to keep an eye on.
No, and that's kind of been the talk all off season too. You just got to keep an eye on it, see how it plays out. Yeah.
Lions are not a good defense either.
Yeah, no, not at all.
So like you expect to hang a big number on them.
Yeah, and they did. You don't expect the defense. If I'm an Eagles fan, the defense is what I'm worried about. You start off strong. You get the pick six. You start off strong, and then you just let the Lions run all over you. Come on.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a cause for concern.
Yeah, that would be my only cause for concern.
But
all right.
Last thing on this game, I'd say congrats to us. That was the trap, and we avoided it.
Yes, we did.
Oh, well done.
There was a lot of traps that we avoided this week.
There was a second big one.
It was like,
we avoided.
There was a second big one that we avoided. We'll talk about that right now. The Saints and the Falcons. Mike Thomas. That's all I gotta say. He's back.
That's your takeaway, not that this Atlanta Falcons team is the same team.
No, they're always the same team. I don't care about the Atlanta Falcons. Like the Falcons have no more pity from me. They get no more. Oh, I feel so bad.
I'm not saying I pity.
No, I know.
I'm just saying that like that game the whole time I was like, man, the Falcons are beating the Saints. This is shocking. And then the fourth quarter comes around and boom, just like that, it pops up. It's like a game update, and it's like the Saints are kicking the game-winning field goal.
Yeah, it was like all of a sudden it was like the scoreboard would come up and they were like, oh, Mike Thomas got a touchdown, and then it was like, oh, he's got a second one by the way, and they're kicking the game-winning field goal and like, so, like, what I don't know what do you want from like Falcons fans? What do you want from us? Cordero Patterson looked good. Marcus Mariota ran all over the place.
I mean, they know that they're going to be bad. This would have been like the Bears game, I think.
What's up with Pitts?
I don't know, but I have that.
Yeah,
I'm happy about
he needs more catches than 2 to get to 60.
I know. 20 to get to 900.
Yeah. But how do you just like not use him when he's like at one point they're on the goal line and I saw it. He wasn't on the field. I was like, why is he not on the field every play? Every single play he should be on the field no matter what. If he's lined up as a tight end or a wide receiver, he should be on the field.
Well, remember who their coach is.
Dude, I saw like the game-winning field goal, and then they showed like the coaches like walk up and shake hands, and I was like,
Uh-huh.
well, the boob is just walking throughout the whole court. Like it just absolutely looks like the last person you'd want to run an NFL team.
Yes, I'd
Like
agree with that.
he looks less competent than Mike McCarthy is. I think every time you look at him,
He's in the same ballpark.
he's just got this dumb face, like he doesn't know what just happened.
And Atlanta's the worst spot for him to be because they already have that curse.
Yeah, and they just got rid of
Now
Dan
he's
Quinn.
just the face of it.
Yep, he is the face of the curse. I loved. Do you see Jameis's after quote?
What? Everything hurt.
Yeah, where's the pain, James? Everywhere. Pain's everywhere. You gotta keep pushing.
Did you see his? This was the week leading up to the game, but his talk about how the body is like symmetrical.
No.
How, like how like the upper half of your body is the same as your lower half, and he's like the wrists, ankles, same thing. Elbows, knees, same thing. Shoulders, hips. It's so funny. It's one of the best, and he's had so many good ones. The be prepared one was great. When the trainer told
Anytime
him
he
to
says
be
anything,
prepared.
I need
And
it on
then-
camera.
My personal favorite was when he was injured. After he was injured the whole year, they were talking to him, and he's like, "My whole life, I thought my passion was football. What I realized is that my passion is playing football." Like, yep.
Oh, he's a wonder
You
to
hit the
this
nail on
NFL
the head there. He really is great.
And the fact that Taysom Hill is still here.
I
It's just-
saw
it's-
he
I'm-
scored a touchdown, and I just imagined you like looking at the box score, seething in rage.
I was just sitting there like, what are we doing? This is
We
2022.
we
seen
thought it
this
was a Sean
multiple
Payton
times.
thing, but they have a new coach.
Yeah, and he's still there, and he's still taking
He's
carries from
still-
Kamara and freaking taking catches from Mike Thomas. God damn it! Can never get rid of this guy. He's like a
He
freaking.
will always be around.
He's like a wart that just keeps coming back every time, and he's got that stupid face. God, I hate Taysom Hill so
The
much.
Swiss Army knife.
No, he's not. He's not.
Was he,
he's
was
he's
he
the-
returning kicks today?
I don't know. Let me look.
No, they didn't have a kick return
Oh,
because Young Wei Koo is just
they just
bombing
booted
him.
it. Also,
Yeah.
shout out to him for getting 19 fantasy points.
I know.
What a dub. Which,
I
speaking
lost
of
my
which,
game, by the way.
Did you see? Really?
Yeah. Scored 134 and lost.
Brutal. Did you see that Rodrigo Blankenship got cut?
Yeah, I did see that.
That's tough. He's been a good kicker this whole time. He misses one game-winning field goal and he gets cut.
Yeah, it's
Did
kinda
the
mean.
Colts not see all the other kickers that were playing in the NFL?
Kickers don't grow on trees either.
That's what I'm saying. Did they not
You can't
just
just
see?
find
Yeah.
a new kicker.
No. That being said, Parker White is still available for anyone who needs a kicker. Parker
Who?
White. South Carolina's leading scorer of all time, Parker White.
Okay.
Anywho, what were we even talking
6'5"?
about? Who are you looking at?
Parker White?
He's 6'5". Jeez,
Yeah.
that's a tall kicker. All right, but back to the Saints game.
Tall drink of water.
Tall drink of water. Back to the Saints game. I'm still on. I'm still in it. Even though it was looking rough, but I'm still on board.
I am too. Jameis did everything he needed to.
And it's
And
like
they didn't even use Kamara.
no, they didn't even unlock him yet. So, what else we got next up? With we were talking about those, all of those Giants, Titans. How did this happen?
Bummer. The Titans aren't good.
Yeah,
This is one of the teams where I'm not gonna say like it's just week one. Let
They're
it
just
go.
not
I
good.
was already saying that the Titans were gonna have a down year this year. I mean, like you can't lose to the Giants.
now, yeah.
I don't trust anyone on this team aside from Derrick Henry. And like
No,
if he doesn't go off for 150 yards, then they're screwed.
I agree. I think that's their game plan. That's what they do.
Yeah, it has to
And,
be.
I guess Daniel Jones did fine. Saquon was really the top story
Mhm.
of this game. He looked like I like a healthy Saquon. I know he's in your division and he's gonna cause you some troubles, but having him in the league just makes it more fun.
I mean, I don't like playing against him, but I'm not gonna root for injury.
That's fair.
So
That's fair. The rest of their offense, not a fan of.
no, I mean they're still not impressive.
No, no. It's just nice that that's just Saquon. That's
Mhm.
it. Um,
And it'll probably take care of itself.
yeah, that'll fizzle out eventually. Whether he just becomes worse and worse or he just gets injured again.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's the physical and emotional toll of playing for the New York Giants
oh yeah.
that will just wear you down.
Mm-hmm.
Some quicker than others.
All right, I think we have 2 games left. Oh no, we haven't talked about this one yet. Browns Panthers should have seen it coming. That's all I gotta say. We should have seen
That
it.
was like a too good to be true,
Yeah.
like Baker revenge game, and then the Browns are good. People also forget that.
And they also forget
Just
that
because
they
they
have
don't
2
have
number
Watson,
1
like
running backs.
yeah,
2 number 1 running backs. That
yep, and they have a strong defense. So like this is it's still a good football team.
oh
It
yeah,
just and Brissett is not like I don't know, he's not terrible.
he's pretty bad.
It's not Cooper Rush.
No, he's no Cooper Rush. The Browns. I mean, they like the fact that they're already at 1 win and they still have what 13 weeks until Deshaun comes back.
Mhm.
Good, I mean, it's a good start for them. I hate him because I hate
Yeah.
Deshaun, and it sucks because I kind of like the other like I love all the players on this team besides Deshaun. Like I like
Kareem
Nick
Hunt.
Chubb. I don't know. I've turned around. Yeah, he kicked the girl. Whatever. He's good. He's a good player. Just kidding. That's something
What
I
about
probably.
him?
Huh? Oh, you're frozen real quick. The stream might be acting up.
Yeah, I lost you for a second.
Well, what I was gonna say is Kareem did his time. He got cut. He did the consequences, and now like he's just like Joe Mixon now. I don't know. Like I don't know. Whatever. He's no Deshaun. He's not a serial diddler. Like, come on now. He kicked one girl.
Yes. But like he kicked her.
Ah, you
Like
kicked
Ray
one.
Rice got banned from the NFL.
Yeah, but
he
Ray
called
Rice
his
also
girlfriend.
wasn't good anymore.
Yes. But
I
like
don't-
what? Are we just excusing it now? Just because he got cut?
No, I'm just
And
letting it.
immediately got
I'm-
signed by the Browns.
I'm not. All right, fine. I guess I don't like Kareem Hunt. You're right. Kareem Hunt's kind of an asshole. All right, but yeah. All right, never mind. You're right. I don't want to look like I'm out here trying to defend Kareem Hunt for kicking that woman.
No. You're basically supporting domestic violence.
No, I'm not. Let's make that clear. I mean, come on. You kick one girl. What? You can't play football anymore? Kick one girl? Just kidding. That's all just a joke, by the way. But just so it's for the record, just a joke. Anywho, let's move on from this terrible game. Also, Baker
It
sucks.
actually wasn't a terrible game though.
No, it actually, yeah, it actually.
Like it was the snooze fest for a while, but then it got interesting at the end.
Baker, like, he's now healthy. He now has the weapons. I guess the offensive line still isn't very good, so I'll give him that. But I don't know. I expected a little bit more.
He has to perform this year.
I
I
expected
also
a little-
think that like this whole team though is just under the cloud of Matt Rule like being a bozo. I'm all out on Matt Rule,
Yeah, you've been out.
and
You've been out.
and he's an eye test guy. We're like, just look at him.
Yeah.
Does he look like he knows what the hell's going on?
Everyone at home right now, Google the clip of him spitting on himself, and then ask yourself, do I want this guy running my football team? Probably not.
The most heartbreaking day of my life is when you know that video of at Baylor of the coach, like it's a short stubby coach and he races against the tackling dummy, like
Mhm.
the automated one that moves, and
Yeah.
he turns around and he gets hit by it.
Yeah.
For like 3 years I thought that was Matt Rule. And then I found out that it was just one of their like random Joe Schmo coaches. And it like turned my world upside down. It was so sad.
Ruined it. Ruined the image.
Yeah.
All right. But moving on, going west. Raiders, Chargers. Derek Carr, he sucked. I had him in fantasy. He sucked. Um, Devontae Adams did great. The rest of the wide receivers, not very great. Darren Waller, he did all right. And the defense, I mean, it looked fine. It just this Chargers team's really good. I think we're starting to get there.
This was a step forward because they didn't
blow it
implode today.
Yeah, they didn't blow it.
It's like, and it felt like a game that they would too.
No, and if
The
one
offense
that they
kind of
could
disappeared in the fourth quarter,
Mm-hmm.
and like the Raiders definitely had a couple chances to get right back into it, and like they'd already made it interesting, but they had chances at the end, and the Charge like nothing weird happened.
No, it was like
It's
a normal game. Yeah, I think this
That's
should
the
be
best thing that I can say about them.
should be refreshing for the Chargers. This is a nice normal game. Herbert looked good. And the rushing attack did not look very good, but everyone else, I mean, the team played well. So as you just said, take it what you can before all the weird shit starts happening.
Yep.
All
and
right.
this is a surprising game that like against the Raiders, you'd think that something would go down.
Yeah, divisional game. They had that weird wonky overtime one. Look, and a little bit of revenge for the Chargers. Like they could, I mean, I guess they could have had that tie before they called the timeout. But
Yeah.
All right. Anywho, also last thing I want to point out about the Chargers. Did you know Sony Michel is on that team?
Nope. I knew he got cut. I didn't know he was on the Chargers.
Yeah, I didn't know he was on the Chargers either. He got 7 carries for 12 yards. So classic Sony.
That's a good Sony game.
Yeah, nice Sony game. All right, now let's talk about last night's game. Geno. Oh, Geno.
We talked about this game before, and I said
you called
said
it.
I was on Seattle. I did not think they'd win though.
No, but you called them covering.
Thought it would be a close game, and it was. And again, like Russ, I think he's not the same.
No, he's not. And let's talk about it's 4th and 1.
Oh my gosh.
There's 40 seconds left in the game.
No, it was 4th and 5.
4th and 5. All right.
40
seconds left in the game. Do you either A, go for it with your Hall of Fame quarterback that you just got, make a statement, or B, kick a 64-yard field goal? Who kicks a 64-yard field goal ever? It's in Seattle, not even a dome, or Denver. Who would ever think that was gonna go in?
I don't know.
I guess
it's like the second longest field goal of all time.
Yeah, that's what it would have been
if
he
made it. Yeah.
So this coach is getting ripped upon, as he should. Russ looked weirdly bad. He was kind of just check downing to everybody. His bombs were like every time he actually did like the Russell bomb, it was good. He did it. It was a good job. Like he could get the ball there, but he didn't do it enough. It didn't seem like he was very comfortable in the pocket, and it was weird for this Seattle team that's like supposed to be just like scraps, playing really well.
I mean, Geno especially.
Yeah,
Geno. Like at one point he was like 16 for 17.
He was 17 for 17. He missed it on his 18th pass attempt.
Was he?
Yep. I just remember because I remember the announcers just saying it and then he missed it. I was like, damn. So yeah, he ended 23 of 28. Right under 200 yards, 2 tutties. I mean, he outplayed Russell Wilson.
He did.
Yeah.
In Russ's homecoming.
Also, so what are your thoughts on them booing Russ?
I mean, I don't know, but they boo him directly because the video I saw, it was like the team was running onto the field and they booed. I don't know. You're not going to cheer the opposing team.
Yeah, I don't. I thought it was like all I saw was him running in and them booing him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's fair. I mean, you won you a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And he got traded. I don't think he really forced a trade necessarily.
Yeah,
Like
it's
I
kind of
think
like
the
a
team
mutual. It was mutual.
decided on Pete Carroll instead of
Yeah.
him, which again weird.
Hey, it might have
Yeah,
worked
I don't know
out.
why you. Looks like it right now.
So yeah, I don't know why you'd boo him. I don't know if they were directly booing him. I guess like you could. I don't know. And the one thing about Russell Wilson I gotta say is if you're gonna make all these cringy TikToks, you gotta win some football games.
Yeah, no, I agree.
We have some
And
certified Geno fans in the chat. Don't worry.
I mean,
We're Geno.
who's
Yeah.
not a Geno fan? Um, I don't. Yeah, I really don't know what to think of him. You can't. It's a rough game to lose when like, your first game with the new team is at your old team,
Hmm.
and they can like immediately say we don't need you anymore,
And didn't
which
even replace
isn't
him.
even true. But
But they didn't even replace him. They were like, "Oh yeah, your backup's about to beat you," and that's what happened.
right,
Uh, it
and it
was
wasn't even who they expected. It was like they got a guy in that trade.
yeah, and then they still played the backup and they beat him.
Yeah,
It's definitely a weird game. I don't think the Broncos are gonna stay this bad. Like I still think the roster around him is good. I think maybe I don't know. Maybe this being back in Seattle just haunted Russ. I don't know.
yeah, but the other thing is the coaching is concerning. Like
Yeah,
to
because that
have
last play
that
is
big of
inexcusable.
like pooping yourself at the
In
end
the
of the game
first
like
game,
that,
as your
it's
first game as a
not a
head
good
coach
look.
ever. Yeah, not a good
Not a
look.
good look at all.
Nope. And the fact that it's like if I play Madden, I know not to kick a field goal there. Like if anyone would ever to play Madden, they would know not to kick a field goal there. They wouldn't even suggest to kick a field goal there. Like
Yeah. Well, and I saw somebody tweeted out like the probability, or not the probability, but like the past success of like Russell Wilson on 4th and like 3 to 7 yards, I think it was, and it was like he gets it 50% of the time, and then like the percent chance of a 64-yard field goal going in. It's happened like twice.
yeah, not 50%. Weird game. Weird game. Uh
Yeah. But congrats to Seattle.
yeah.
That's a
No,
nice win for them.
it's a nice win for them, and it's also it's like if they and I think they will win a couple more games, maybe two or three.
Yeah.
But if they go on like a big losing streak or whatever, it's like at least we beat Russ.
Right, and Gino's not going to look like that every week.
No.
Like they will probably be terrible next week.
Who they got next week?
I was about to pull up the lines.
They got the
Let's
Niners.
see.
Interesting.
Interesting.
That's gonna be a very interesting game. Because if Trey Lance looks bad that game, Jimmy's coming.
Then it's a problem.
Jimmy's coming.
It's Jimmy time.
All right. That does it for this NFL week. We have some college stuff to talk about, but let's congratulate ourselves one more time to the wise picks. Yeah, tip the cap. And just remember what you felt like when you saw that all the wise picks hit and you didn't bet it. Just remember what it felt like.
Remember that moment.
Yeah, remember. All right. Let's talk some college corner and then we'll get out of here. You go first, Chris.
I mean, we had an easy game this Saturday. It was at Charlotte. They were 28-point favorites. I think 56-21 was the final.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't have many takeaways from it. They did what they were supposed to do. But we are missing one of our starting cornerbacks, which is not great. And I'm a little bit nervous about this Saturday.
Who you got
SMU coming to College Park.
Oh, SMU.
And it's like an out of conference game, so you kind of expect it to just be easy, but like they're actually a good football team. We're like 4-point favorites.
Wow.
So I'm nervous.
Yeah, so which corner went out?
Tarheeb still. He's
Oh,
not I don't know
okay.
if he's their best guy or but he's a starter and he actually has experience. Their next two guys are like really young, haven't played it at all. So
Yeah,
when they
that's not
face actual receivers that aren't Charlotte, like it could be an issue. So I think it might be a shootout this week.
okay. I could see that. Is SMU? Are they any good?
They're decent. And they're like real team. It's not just like a Buffalo or a Charlotte.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
And like they play other real teams.
Yeah,
They've beaten Lamar and North Texas so far, so nothing. They haven't played a competitive game yet.
interesting. It's gonna be an interesting
But
matchup. I think you
yeah,
guys will
and
win, but I
then
think it'll be interesting.
so the next week we get Michigan at
I saw.
Michigan. Big noon kickoff.
Yeah.
That's not gonna go well.
Number 4.
I just want them to win this game. Like, take care of your out of conference business and at least go into conference play, giving yourself a chance.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, because then
if
you
we're
have
just
Michigan
looking at
and Michigan State,
yeah,
and then Purdue, Indiana. Indiana's not any good, is he? Or,
Indiana's poop.
yeah, Northwestern. Oh, that's it's against Helinski. It's gonna be fun.
Who?
Former Carolina quarterback. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they finish off with like
They
Wisconsin, Penn
they
State,
finish
Ohio
off with
State, and then Rutgers.
yeah. That's a rough ending.
So just take care of business in the games that you should win, and this is a game that they should win. Like, you don't schedule SMU at home
Yep, unless you're
thinking
gonna win.
like, oh, this is an upset opportunity for us. This is a game that you have to win. And another thing that I'll talk about that I saw on Twitter today, our head coach said something about the fans. Find the quote. He says he wants fans to help close the gap between Maryland and the top teams by creating an atmosphere and showing up to home games. Now, I agree. Obviously, like, as someone who goes to every game, I would love to have a full house there and people to actually come to games. But you have to look at it like from a historical perspective where maybe 10-ish years ago they had a winning coach who they let go. They brought in Randy Edsall from UConn, who was terrible. And then when they fired him, they brought in DJ Durkin, who killed a guy.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then there was that whole fiasco where like they did an investigation and they decided not to fire him, and then they fired him a day later. So I think you lost a lot of fans in that era, which makes sense. Like,
Mhm.
going from a winning coach to a not winning coach, especially in a market that's dominated by pro sports, people are going to stop caring. And then that whole issue, like, I'm sure a lot of people don't want to be associated with the program anymore. And they also lose every big game that they have. Like, they've had a bunch of games over the last couple of years where, like, Friday night, Penn State on Fox Sports, and they just get torched. Or like the Iowa game last year. So you have these opportunities to make people care, and you get blown out, and people are like, all right, whatever, I'll tune back in when like they're actually winning games again. So it's tough to get, like, I understand what he's asking for, but it's not easy to just get people to show up.
Mhm.
Given the last 10, 15 years of this program, like, it makes sense why you can't even be mad for people not showing up.
Yeah,
So
that makes
that's my
sense.
take on that.
You can't have a history of losing and then ask why, and not even just losing. You're right, with controversy and bad decision on who's gonna coach, and then beg for. I mean, there's
And
big.
it's not like they just hired a coach who people like weren't super excited about. It's like this guy Friedgen brought football back to Maryland. Like, they started winning, and then he was like 2-10 one year, and they mutual agreed to part ways the next year, and they made a bowl game. I think he just had issues with administration. They had issues with him for whatever reason. And then the Edsel thing, like, I don't know why they thought that was a good idea.
Yeah.
He was horrible. And so it's like, it's major issues because the death of the player, like, that's pretty significant.
Bad.
Like, that's going to turn people off to your program, and rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, it's a tough spot for like the athletics department and the ticket marketers to try to find ways to bring people back, because they need to. Like, attendance was atrocious against Buffalo, and I was looking at the upcoming games, and like, there's still tons of tickets left. People just don't care anymore.
It's sad. It really is
Yeah.
sad.
It's a bummer.
But like what
It
as you
takes
as you're
time.
saying, like what do you yeah, it takes time. What are you can't ask them
And I
all to
think
pay for
the
tickets
the
for a
big
bad team.
well, and the Big Ten move I think also turned people off because the ACC was competitive and like people cared about those teams that they were playing. Like no one really cares to come see them play Northwestern or Purdue. Like they care to see them
Yeah.
play Carolina and Florida State and those teams.
Yeah. Yeah, cuz
I think that's another part of it.
and that's all East Coast teams that people want to see, you know? Especially people from
Hmm.
Maryland who have grown up on the East Coast and seen all know all the teams on the East Coast. They don't know who's on Northwestern or Wisconsin. Like
Right,
come
right.
on. All right.
Yep.
Uh, any other last thoughts on Maryland SMU next week or this week? Any?
I'm nervous.
I think you'll be fine.
Nervous.
I think you'll be fine against SMU.
I don't know.
All right.
We'll see.
We can't. The Cox went to the Razorbacks. So this game was close at the end. It was bad at the beginning. The Gamecocks crept in.